Good morning, everybody. So we're on Thursday, the 7th of May. I don't think our video this morning needs to be very long because what you've got to do today, we talked about a lot in our meeting yesterday. So it's really just a quick reminder and to check you know what you're doing. So for capacity, now you all know that capacity is measuring how much you can fit into a container. Okay. You've got a sheet that looks a bit like this. It's got 3 columns. One says container, one says estimated capacity, and one says the actual measured capacity. If you can't print off that sheet, no worries, you can just make your own one like I've done. It's easy, okay? And then there's space for you to choose 7 containers. So I've picked 7. I've got a little milk jug, I've got a massive yogurt pot, I've got a wine glass, of course. Also because I wanted to get different sizes, I've also gone for one of these, ice cube container, and a cereal bowl, various other things. Okay, so you want to get about 7 empty containers for which you know you've got a measuring jug which you can measure the capacity in. It's not much point you getting a great big bucket and then thinking, oh, I haven't got anything I can measure that into. So choose something sensible. Okay, so just as an example, I've got here the bottom of the coffee, the mocha pot. Okay, and I've filled it nearly almost to the top, okay, with water. And I don't know how much is in there, but first of all, I'm going to make an estimate. Now, I'm thinking about that little juice pot that we looked at yesterday. I know that little juice pot was 200 millilitres, and I don't think this is much different, even though you know I'm rubbish at estimating. I think it's a tiny bit less. So I'm going to estimate, just put that down carefully, 180 millilitres. I'm going just a bit less than 200. And it doesn't matter if I'm wrong, because as I do more estimates, I will get better. So before I measure it, oops, Daisy, before I measure it, I'm going to fill in on my sheet. So I can either write or draw. What is the container? It's the coffee pot. The coffee pot bottom, okay, and my estimate is 180 what, not 180 litres, 180 millilitres. Okay, and normally when we're estimating, remember we go for what we call a round number, so to the nearest 10. If I said 181, that would be a bit of a strange estimate because that's very, very precise. Okay, so after I've made my estimate, I'm now going to pour the water into my measuring jug. Oh, it's a bit dirty. That was a bit of an old coffee pot. And then I need to make sure that I rest my measuring jug on a flat surface, not hold it wonky. So I'm going to rest it on the table, take my eye level down. Oh, now my measuring jug, you can only see the top of my head. My measuring jug, the scale goes up in, let me get this right, because mine's in decimals, so I don't want to say anything silly to you. Yeah, mine goes up in 50s. Yeah, mine goes up in 50s, and I'm having to estimate between 150 and 200 millilitres, and it's really close. I think it's 190 actually, to be fair. I haven't got a marker exactly on 190, but looking at where that 150 is and looking at where the 200 is, I think I've actually got 190 millilitres. And for me, that is an amazingly close estimate. I'm really pleased with that. But even if it hadn't been that close, it doesn't matter, okay? Because the next one, hopefully I'll be thinking, oh yeah, I overestimate or I underestimate, okay? Remember, if you're measuring something which is very small, you do need a measuring jug or a measuring container that's got a scale on it that will give you will allow you to measure a small quantity, okay? If your quantity is so small that it goes below the bottom marker, so you can't actually say, you can take a good estimate, but you can't put 0 if you know there's actually some liquid in there. You can't put 0 measured if there is some liquid in. The best you can do is put below, just write down less than 5 millilitres or less than 20 millilitres, whatever the bottom marker is, if you think you can't really say, okay, because there's so little in there. Okay. So that's your capacity work. 7, if you do less, it doesn't matter, but have a go. Okay, look at it, have a good think about what you know, estimate, and then write in your actual measurement. Okay, one thing I was going to show you as well, because when we were looking at the in the meeting, we were looking at the litre bottle of tonic water. Do you remember on my tonic water it said 1 litre, and I said they've chosen to write it in litres, but they could have written it in millilitres. Well, I've actually found that on my washing up bottle, it says 1,000 millilitres, okay, which is the same as a litre. So when this was full, it held 1,000 millilitres, it held 1 litre. Okay, right, then after that, or before, I'd like you to go back to your Features of a River PowerPoint presentation that we looked at in the meeting yesterday. So you now take your time to have a really good look at that, go through all of the slides, and you'll find that the last slide is a series of questions, okay? Now it's not a test in that you're not allowed to check back, but to go through those questions and see if you can answer them. And if you need to look back in the PowerPoint to find the answer, that's absolutely fine. That's what you have to do to learn and to remember things. So have a good look at the questions after looking at the PowerPoint, and then go back and check anything that you need to. Okay, so today is like a practice, because tomorrow I'll be asking you to do a similar thing, but to see if you can actually treat the questions at the end on Friday a bit like a test, not in a test that anybody's going to get stressed about, but in a way that you would not be checking back, that you would really be trying to see what you can remember. Okay, so today is the read, learn, try it out, practice, check all the words, try and get them in your head as best you can, so that ready for Friday you can see what you can actually remember. Okay, good. I think that's it for today. So I hope you enjoy your measuring. I hope you don't make too much of a mess. Don't do any water measuring next to the computer, okay? Away from anything electrical, do that near a sink in the kitchen or a sink in the bathroom, so that you can pour things, and if they spill, it doesn't matter, okay? Right, okay, work hard, and I shall see you soon. Bye.